Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And yes, you may be thinking, isn't this supposed to be a movie? You said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are the days. Yeah, change plans. Um, Starting to get a little burnt out. Maybe doing this whole month was a good idea. I should have just done the Monday, Wednesday, Friday for this, but I promised you Nick month 2. I'm doing it, so I have decided to amend my schedule. And so what I've done is now up until the 26th, these will all be TV episodes or specials reviewed. So you'll get either a retro rewind or most likely will be a from the vault. From the vault is finally going to get a lot of things in the playlist because yeah, I'll be going between Drake and Josh, iCarly, and Victorious until the 26th. Well, I will actually do the Chase Norman part that I promised because if I could go through with SpongeBob, 5 days of SpongeBob, and I can do 6 days of Chase Norman, no problem. So yeah, but up until then, we're going to talk about episodes and specials. I think I laid out the specials and episodes pretty well. And we're starting with what I declared was the worst episode of Drake and Josh. That's Theater Thug. A lot of people look back on this and they praise it, and I say, no, you're wrong. Like that I remembers the line. Whoa, just take it easy, man. But that is there. Besides some other funny moments like the Josh Photoshop stuff, like Gavin with the doing the salsa dance with Helen. I do not like it, Sam Hayem. And two of the Dragon Josh ones that I picked are ones that I don't like. But I picked a very good one actually that I'll be talking about on the 23rd. But for this one, we're talking about Theater Thug, and I remember when I first watched this episode, I didn't like it. I was like, this is stupid. It's repetitive, and it ended, and it doesn't have an ending. It ends. And they didn't even know what to put as it like a deleted. Usually, like a deleted scene will play in the credits. We have a flashback to them singing the theme song back when they were younger. So it's like, it looks like it was the episode with the lucky shirt. Cause Drake's wearing the lucky shirt, but yeah, I just do not like this episode. But so let's go ahead and talk about Theater Thug from season 3, and this is a retro rewind because it came out in February of uh, 2006. Yep, February of 2006. I believe it was the 16th, so it was 4 days before my birthday. But yeah, so it's like the only one I think that is retro rewind. Now that I think about it. I think so. The rest are all. Yep, the rest are all from the vault. This is the only one of these that is be considered retro rewind. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So we start as we do with Drake and Josh talking to the camera. Now it has always frustrated me. There's that episode, where I don't remember which one it is, but Josh is telling a story, and Drake can't remember a story. So Drake calls and asks what story Josh is telling, and Josh says, "You can't steal my story," and then Drake steals the story, and Josh gets all mad at him. But they often tell the same story just from different points of view, and this is one of those cases. Apparently, one time, Drake and Josh were at the Galleria, the mall, and Drake happened to see what he believed, or so we're led to think, is Josh's Grammy. So he says, "Hey, there's your Grammy," and Josh runs full speed, handing Drake his special scalp shampoo. And as someone who has dandruff, I'm in there with you, Josh. I have dandruff. When you shave your head a lot, like I do, you get the dandruff a lot more. So I get the Head and Shoulders. Not the knees and toes though, just the head and shoulders. Uh, but yeah, so I get that shampoo. So yeah, he gives the special scalp shampoo to Drake. He calls it nerd shampoo. I don't get that line. But he runs over screaming at the top of his lungs, Grammy, Grammy, it's me, Joshy. And spins this person around, hugs him. But it turns out it's not Grammy, it's an older gentleman who freaks out. And we're led to believe that Drake knew it wasn't Grammy. And yeah, that's the the whole thing. Oh, we thought it was some, but it's not. So yeah, so Josh is working at the theater, and Gavin walks by, and this is one of those gags that I don't really get. It happens a few times where Gavin will walk by and says, "Hey, Josh, Helen wants you to do this." And he goes, "Can't you do it?" Nah. And then he takes off, and then he comes back later. I got it. It happens quite a bit. This time there's a wig in the ladies' toilet, which I guess they don't technically have a female employee here. She doesn't show up till season 4. But you would normally have a female employee. Well, I said female. A female employee. I said female. A female employee do that. Not a male employee. You know? I mean, or does this theater not have a janitor? Because later they're having Josh mop the floor. And I'm like, what? Is there no janitor for this theater? I don't know. As a janitor, I'll do it. I'd clean that theater. I'd clean it real good. They have a mop and stuff there, but there's no janitor. You think they would? In fact, if you were forced to hire Crazy Steve to work there, make him the janitor. You know, he'd be working after it closes. There's no people around. Even on his bad days, there's nobody around. He can do things, but I need one person there to supervise him. But, and let's face it would be Josh. But I don't want to stay late. But yes, Drake shows up ready to take Josh home. Josh says, "Well, I work till 6. It's only 4 right now." And Drake's like, "Well, I guess you're walking, or you catch a bus." He's like, "Hey, come on." He's like, "Well, what am I going to do in a movie theater for 2 hours?" He just looks at him like, "Really?" Well, I guess I can see the movie. Oh, really? Same movie, okay. He's going to see Eye of the Mummy, apparently. But apparently, Drake can't go to a movie without a date. If only I had such tenacity. I wouldn't have gone to so many movies alone. Or at least not with someone else with me. I don't need to be a date, just someone else go with me. But I went to a lot of movies by myself. I still would if our theater didn't close down. Thank you, COVID. Anyway, so Drake just takes this girl from this guy who's there. Poor guy. This girl looks an awful lot like Lucy Hale, but it's not Lucy Hale. I've looked it up before, but she looks a lot like Lucy Hale, but she's not. But it's just like, he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And she's like, "Hazel." He's like, "Oh, like the nut." Drake is supposed to be the ladies' man, right? That's where you go. She's like, "Hazel," and you go, "Oh, you mean like your beautiful eyes?" Hazel's like a brown color, right? Or is that a green? Hazel? I don't know, but hazelnuts are brown, man. And the poor guy has no date. Then Gavin comes up. Got it. But not yet. Then we get our guest star, Josh Server, as the host of the America's Most Wanted fake, America's Greatest Criminals, something like that. I don't know. He's like, "Oh," Josh was like, "Hey, I watch that every Saturday." He goes, "You think a teenager like your teenage, someone your age would be out on Saturday nights?" He goes, "Yeah, you think so?" Been there. Been there. Been there. My Saturdays as a teenager spent at home watching Drake and Josh. For the most part. either at home or at my grandma's house. We went back and forth every other weekend. So, but yeah, so he says, hey, you look an awful lot like the criminal we're profiling. Spoiler alert. No, he doesn't. But, so we like to use you in a reenactment. Like, really? I'm not, I don't know how to act. And he responds with, neither does Jennifer Lopez. True that, Josh says. So he agrees to do it, and then that's when Gavin comes out and says, I got it, with the wig in his bare hands. Put the gloves on, man. Put gloves on, is what I said. Put gloves on, man. Don't just... No. Yuck. 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 Complete yuck. We get the theme song, and then... Yeah. So they're getting ready to shoot this thing. So... No, there's something else at home, right? Isn't there something at home? Because they don't go straight to the thing. I swear. God damn it. I put it on mute. Hold on. Man, why? Alright. I remember now. So, Josh is now going to practice his lines with Megan. Megan's got to be the cashier. And Drake is there playing his guitar. So, or practicing his guitar. But, yeah. So, they start running the lines. So, I don't know what Megan is trying to do with reading the line. What? It's what? You're supposed to be, like... She's like, I have to practice. What? So he comes in, he's like, give me the money. Or something like that. And she's like, what? Every time, what? Well, give me money, I ain't playing. The first time she laughs. You're supposed to respond the way she would. He goes, no, respond as if I'm this big scary man. So he does it again. She does the, what? And then she says there's cops behind him. He somehow, for some reason, falls for it. She pushes him out the door and locks it. And he tries to break down the door. And the door, clearly, if he had put a little more force into it, it clearly would have busted because it's just a set. Because it moves when he does it. But, so, what is she trying to do here? What? Because, like, you think... I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do this thing where she's not an actor. She doesn't know how to say the line. But, like, I don't know. If you watch enough TV, you'd know. You'd be like, what? What? Or just like, come on, give me the money. I ain't playing. So I'm like, I don't know. But, I don't know. But he gets like that. Drake has to say action. You know. And then we cut to... They're on... I think that's how it is, right? We cut after the scene is over. Come on. Yeah, they're getting ready to shoot. Right? Okay. For a second I thought I didn't unpause it. So we're getting ready to shoot, and the director guy, he talks about the big giant pimple on Josh's face, and Josh makes a big deal out of it as if it's something we should already know about. He's like, "Oh, come on," and something like that. I'm just like, what? Was that something deleted, or like where did this pimple come from? All of a sudden he's got it. Was there a scene where he wakes up one morning and he's got a big pimple, sort of thing? And they thought, no, that's not important because it's gonna distract from, because it's never brought up again after this. So I don't know why they bring such attention to it here. Drake shows up because he's never been on a set before, which is a nod to the fact that Drake Bell grew up on movie sets. So. Yeah. And Josh freaks out on him. That's where you get the line, "Hey, just take it easy, man." Which the director loves so much that he puts him in the reenactment. Helen also wants to be in reenactment, but it's too overacting when he pretends to rob the place. I feel like that's a little too stereotypish against black ladies. Oh, the black lady always gotta freak out. I don't know. I don't know, but he sends her over to get the director guy sends her over to get a donut, and they quickly shoot again, and yeah. So we cut to they're getting ready to watch the special, and we find out that Megan and the mom they watched the Bruce Winchell weather report and not the dad's weather report. I never understood the rivalry weathermen have. Well, weathermen have. Like, you're still reading the same weather predictions, right? Because, like, weathermen, they get the, like, in this show, they blame Walter when the weather doesn't go the way he said it was going to go. But it's not his fault. They use a weather machine. They use a barometer or whatever it is, right? To figure out what the weather's going to be. They use that. It's not the weatherman's fault. It's what the barometer tells them. See, growing up, the weatherman was always wrong. And now that you know there's a machine involved, you're wondering, was the machine just defective back then and now they got ones that actually work? Technology got better? I don't know, because they say, oh, it's supposed to rain today, and then we get a sprinkle, and then that's it. It's like, well, that was enough to worry about, huh? But, like, would it matter which weather person you're watching? And that's just the hot weather. They're all fat dudes in suits the way I grew up with. But anyway, we're all weather men when I grew up. There's no weather women around our place. But anyway, yeah, just I don't know. I never got the idea of competing. It's the same. It's gonna be the same thing unless one barometer says something different. I guess I don't know. But now it's time for FBI's Most Wanted. That's what it's called, which is not narrated by Josh Server, but he who shall not be named is doing the voiceover. And I went, wait, didn't that guy say he was the host? Didn't Josh Server? He said he was the host. This is not him. It's he who should not be named trying to sound like John Walsh, is what it is. And they show the theater thug, and he looks absolutely nothing like Josh. But we're not done, because now no boy. Goddamn ads. See what? I don't put ads on my videos. I don't need the revenue. That's what I would get much anyway. I just want people to enjoy my videos. I don't want people to have to sit through ads constantly. I understand people need that ad revenue. I get it. But still. Sometime today ad. Of course I can't skip it. I want to see. I'm going to get past this scene. I'm past this scene already. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot the pizza guy's there. So, for some reason, this is the only time in the series that we see outside the premiere theater. Because, well, besides the parking lot, but even then, that parking lot doesn't make sense to where they are now. It's like an outside cafe area that we never see again, where they're walking and Josh gets attacked by some people who think he's the theater thug. Okay, cool. Do it just this once. And that's it. That's all you need to do. He's mistaken. Maybe say that off screen he was attacked. Because he does it later. He comes back and say he was attacked 2 more times. Off screen. Cool. We don't need to keep on saying it. Because at this point, it's not funny anymore if you keep repetitiveness is not funny. Repetitiveness, being too loud, it's not funny. It gets annoying after a while. So yeah, he gets beaten up by these old ladies who think he's a theater thug. He gets arrested. And he says that happened to him 2 more times off the screen. And that's why he's 45 minutes late for work. Helen doesn't seem to care, but if it was Drake, she would drop everything and go. And then some little Boy Scout thinks he's the theater thug, and he gets attacked again. He doesn't get arrested here, but they all sit on him, and Drake tries to say something. And that's the thing that pisses me off, is that they have to make sure, or they try to at least, make sure that Drake is out of the picture for this, so that he still gets attacked. He tries to tell the kids, but then a hot girl comes by for an autograph, and he walks off with her. So they come up with, they being Drake and Megan, come up with an idea to disguise Josh. And so I need to look at these pictures because still on that. Right. Okay, so his first thing, they use PhotoDoc, which is also said in iCarly, by the way. So you get Josh. He gets this weird, I can only describe it as an emu look, where his head is partially shaved and he's got the black hair over the side there. Josh doesn't like that, so they decide to change it into, well, it's basically Zoe. Basically what they've done is they took Josh's face and put it over a picture of Jamie Lynn Spears from Zoe 101. Even got the key right there. Then you got little Joshica, which is Josh look like a little girl with ponytails. Then a Mr. T look, which he says no to. And what they settle on is what I believe is an homage to Kenan Thompson, a Kenan Thompson character, All That. And All That, Kenan Thompson will play a character named Antoine, who had a big afro and said the phrase, "What it is." So Josh comes in dressed like a hippie with a big afro, and he says, "What it is," or "What it is," or however he says it. And then when they say it's him, which, come on, no one would recognize him. He looks nothing like he normally does. But because it's going to be funny for the episode, they recognize him. He's like, no, my name is Antoine. How are you? And he gets knocked down and arrested. My big police rant will happen at the end of this episode. So we cut to, again, Drake tries to say something, but he's just like, because like he tells the kids he's not the guy, but here he's like, as they're taking Josh away, but he doesn't do anything. Why don't you do anything? Because if he did, they wouldn't be able to keep doing it. So we cut. It's the end of the shift at the Premiere Theater. And Gavin is stacking chairs, and he and Helen are going to go salsa dancing. They get Gavin salsa dances. They walk out the door. Drake is there to pick him up, and he goes to get the mop, and the theater thug shows up. I do like this exchange where he's like, "Where's the money?" "I don't know." "Yes, you do." "Yeah, I do." I don't know. I don't know. It's in the cash register. And he's like, "I'm not allowed to open the cash register against someone makes a purchase." I think it would be funnier if I was like, "Fine, I'll buy a soda." But no, he goes after him. By the way, he has his hand in his pocket, which is the thing you do when you can't show a gun. So you just have him with the hand in the pocket, going like that, because you can't, you know. But then the cops show up from a bullhorn. It's once again he who should not be named. And he's like, "I got him. You got a big hit." "Yeah. Drake comes up, says, "Josh, duck." Josh is like, "Huh?" He gets hit in the head with the mop. And then he chases Drake around the place, knocking chairs around. Josh gets back up and just whacks the theater thug with the mop. And this should be where it should just end with the theater thug getting arrested and the cops apologize to Josh and everything. No, they just had to go one more time. And I watched it this time. Drake says, "I'll go get the cops," and runs off. So Drake is not there to tell the cops it's not him. Because he goes, "I'll get the cops," and runs out the door. But the cops come from the other side for some reason and grab Josh. This has never made any sense to me. And now it goes twofold here. One, the actual fucking theater thug is right fucking there. And you still grab the wrong one. That makes no sense. Because they're going to look, you got this guy holding down another guy. You're going to see both of these guys. And what's going to happen is they'll take him out, but someone else is going to get, like, there's other cops around. They're going to see him, and wait a minute, that's actually the theater thug. So maybe he got arrested after the fact. But it's not funny. So, and two, how many times has Josh been arrested now? He says it happened to him 3 times before the kids sat on him. He wasn't arrested there, but it was 3 times before. Plus the time with the old ladies when he was Antoine. How are you? And now. So that's 5. By this time, he should have gone through every cop in San Diego. If anything, there should be repeat cops. They should see him and go, "Oh, no. That's not the guy. He keeps getting arrested, but it's not him." And how many times? There's got to be a police captain at the station who's fucking pissed because they keep bringing in this idiot. No offense to Josh. The idiot cops keep bringing in this guy every time. He's got to be sitting there going, "How fucking stupid are my police? How fucking stupid is my precinct that they keep bringing in the same fucking idiot? What? You know? Somebody's getting fired. That's for sure. No. Just no. I've never liked this episode. And rewatching it when I was going through the series, it hit me the most is I just do not like this episode. But, no. No, this is not. No. What they're doing is they're betting on him keeping getting arrested as being funny. And it's funny if it happens once, and then he's told, and he says they happen 2 more times off screen. That's 3. And maybe the kids do it and they had enough. So what really should happen is that Josh stays home and goes nowhere, and then Drake and Megan figure out a way to capture the actual theater thug. And that's how it ends. But I'm sure they'd probably still write the ending where Josh still gets arrested. Is what happens is they try to trap him. Josh shows up to stop him. They get him, but then they still arrest Josh. Because they still want to have that, "Oh, it's funny," kind of ending. I don't know. And it's one of the reasons why I don't like this episode. It's one of those things where there's no conclusion. They get the theater thug, but he gets away because they still arrest Josh. It's like, while I like Treehouse, was it in my top 10 best episodes? I like the episode Treehouse. Hold on. It was number 10. The ending has always been why it's not so high for me, because there's no conclusion. The treehouse falls, the episode ends. They don't get out. There's no conclusion. They don't even have their date because Craig and Eric goes on it. And that's another reason why I have, like, even the affair doesn't really have a conclusion. He's like, "Oh, you ruined my new job." Like, really? You're not going to have them go talk to her? No? Okay. Just have him pour food on him. The wedding, which I will talk about soon, is another one. It's really a non-ending, and we'll get to that one because that one also pissed me off. But yeah, you can say the storm doesn't have an ending. The storm's still going, so you can't really. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I never liked this episode. What do you think of this episode? When we come, so you should like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.